They were not legendary characters from ancient myths, nor were they celestial beings free from fear or mistakes. They were ordinary men, flesh and blood, who lived in the harsh sands of Arabia. Yet, when their names were mentioned, oppressive rulers grew restless, and enemy armies lost their courage before a single sword was drawn. Their power did not come from the size of their armies or the gold in their. It came from something far more terrifying to the forces of falsehood, a conviction that could not be bought and a faith that could not be shaken. Today, we step back in time to witness the lives of the 7 companions of Prophet Muhammad, who were the most feared throughout Islamic history. They walked into the heart of danger with steady hearts, not because they sought death, but because they no longer feared it. When they spoke the truth, their voices shook the thrones of empires, louder than the thunder of war drums. These men redefined what it meant to be brave, showing that true strength lies in submission to the Creator alone. Before we delve into these earth-shaking stories, make sure to subscribe. Here, we don't just listen to the past, we inherit the lessons of faith that remain relevant to our modern struggles. Let us begin with the man whose very shadow caused the enemies of justice to flee. In the city of Makkah, there was one figure respected and feared long before he ever spoke, Umar ibn Al-Khattab. A towering man with a broad frame, his gaze was sharp enough to pierce through any deception. On the streets of Makkah, his footsteps echoed with authority, and his presence alone was enough to silence a crowd. During the early days of Islam, Umar was one of the most fierce opponents of the new faith. He saw it as a threat to the traditions of his ancestors. He was a man of action, and when he decided to end a conflict, he did so with the edge of his sword. One day, he set out with a blade in hand, determined to end the life of the Prophet himself. But Allah had a different plan for the heart of Umar. As he encountered the verses of the Quran, the words began to melt the ice around his soul. The man who had set out as a hunter of the faith became its most formidable guardian. His conversion sent shockwaves through Mecca. The Muslims, who had been praying in secret for fear of their lives, suddenly found a protector who feared nothing. Umar marched to the Kaaba and declared his faith openly, challenging anyone to stop him. The Prophet once said that if Umar took one path, Satan would choose another. This wasn't because Umar was perfect, but because his commitment to the truth was so absolute that falsehood had no room to breathe. When Umar became the second caliph, his influence reached the far corners of the world. The mighty Persian and Byzantine empires feared not just his soldiers, but his legendary justice. He was a leader who could sleep under a simple tree without a single guard, yet the world trembled at the mention of his name. He held himself to a higher standard than anyone else, often walking the streets at night to ensure no child went hungry. Umar proved that the greatest power is born from a heart that is completely surrendered to the divine. His legacy remains a beacon of strength for those who seek to stand for justice, no matter the cost. Next is the sword of Allah, Khalid ibn Al-Walid. Khalid was a military genius whose tactical brilliance is still studied in military academies today. Before he embraced Islam, he was the one who turned the tide at the Battle of Uhud. But once he turned his heart toward the light, his genius was placed at the service of faith. Khalid never lost a battle, not one. He fought in over 100 engagements, often against overwhelming odds. He moved his armies across waterless deserts where others thought it impossible, striking like a lightning bolt before the enemy could even prepare their defense. To his enemies, he was an unstoppable force of nature. At the Battle of Yarmouk, Khalid faced a Byzantine army that vastly outnumbered his own. While others saw certain defeat, Khalid saw an opportunity for a miracle. He maneuvered his cavalry with such precision that the massive imperial army found itself suffocated and broken. Despite his fame and power, Khalid's heart was detached from the glory of this world. When Umar, as caliph, removed him from his position as commander-in-chief to remind the people that victory comes from Allah and not from Khalid, the great general stepped down without a word of complaint. He continued to fight as a common soldier, proving that his loyalty was to his creator, not his ego. Then we have the Lion of Allah, Ali bin Abi Talib. Ali was the cousin and son-in-law of the Prophet, raised in the very house where revelation descended. He was the youth who risked his life by sleeping in the Prophet's bed to distract assassins during the Hijrah. Ali was the perfect blend of profound knowledge and unmatched physical courage. At the Battle of Khyber, when the strongest warriors failed to breach the massive fortress gates, Ali stepped forward. It is said he used a massive boar as a shield, displaying a strength that seemed more than human. His bravery was legendary, yet he was known as the Gate of Knowledge for his wisdom. Ali's fearlessness was tempered by an incredible sense of mercy and humility. During one battle, he had an opponent pinned and was about to strike when the man spat in his face. Ali immediately stepped back and lowered his sword. When asked why, he replied that he was fighting for the sake of Allah, but after being spat on, he feared his strike would be out of personal anger. This level of self-control made him more than just a warrior. It made him a spiritual titan. He lived a life of poverty, often going hungry to feed others, yet his spirit was the richest in the land. He taught the world that the true lion is the one who can conquer his own ego. Hamzah bin Muttalib, the uncle of the Prophet, was known as the Lion of God and his messenger. Even before Islam, he was a man of immense strength and a formidable hunter. When he heard that the Prophet had been insulted by the leaders of Mecca, Hamzah did not hesitate. He walked straight into the assembly of the elite, struck the offender with his hunting bow, and declared his conversion on the spot. His presence gave the early Muslim community a shield they desperately needed. In the Battle of Badr, he moved through the enemy ranks like a storm, his two-handed fighting style becoming a nightmare for the Quraysh. He was a man who lived for honor and died a martyr's death. The loss of Hamzah at the Battle of Uhud was one of the most painful moments in the life of the Prophet. Yet, even in his final moments, Hamzah's bravery was a testament to his character. He stood his ground against those who sought to extinguish the light of Islam, fighting until his last breath. He taught the believers that some things are worth more than life itself. His name became a symbol of chivalry and protectorate strength. To this day, the story of the Lion of God inspires those who feel small in the face of tyranny, reminding them that one man with enough courage can change the course of history. Zubair ibn Al-Awwam was the disciple of the Prophet. He was the very first person to draw a sword in the cause of Islam. When a false rumor spread that the Prophet had been captured in the early days, a young Zubair took his sword and ran through the streets of Mecca, ready to face an entire city alone to find him. The Prophet was so moved by his devotion that he granted him this special title. Zubair was a master of the cavalry, a man who could lead a charge into the thickest part of the enemy line without flinching. His loyalty was not just a feeling, it was an unbreakable commitment that defined his entire existence. Zubair's life was a series of trials, yet he never wavered. He participated in every major battle, often sustaining wounds that would have stopped any other man. At the Battle of the Trench, he was one of the few who volunteered for the most dangerous scouting missions. He was a man of action who spoke little but did much. He lived with the simplicity of a nomad but the heart of a king. His story is a reminder that true friendship is found in the moments of greatest hardship, and that a true disciple is one who stands by the truth when everyone else has fled. He remains one of the 10 promised paradise. Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas was a man whose arrows never missed their mark. He was the first to shed blood in the way of Allah, defending the early Muslims during a secret prayer. Sa'd was more than just an archer. He was a strategic thinker and a man of deep prayer. The Prophet used to pray for Sa'd, asking Allah to make his aim true and his prayers answered. Because of this divine blessing, Sa'd became a legend on the battlefield. He led the Muslim armies during the conquest of Persia, most notably at the Battle of Qadisiyah. He was a man who combined military might with a soul that was constantly in communication with the heavens. During the Battle of Qadisiyah, despite being so ill that he could barely sit up, Sa'd commanded the entire army from a balcony, proving that leadership is a matter of the mind and spirit rather than just physical presence. He guided his troops through days of grueling combat against the Persian elephants and heavy cavalry. His victory opened the gates to the east, bringing the message of Islam to millions. Yet, Sa'd remained humble, always attributing his success to the prayers of the Prophet and the help of the Almighty. He was a knight of Islam who fought not for land, but for the liberation of the human soul from the chains of idolatry. Finally, we speak of Abu Ubaidah Al-Jarrah, whom the Prophet called the trustworthy one of this ummah. Abu Ubaidah was a man of immense gentleness in his personal life, but in the heat of battle, he was as solid as a mountain. He was one of the early converts who suffered much for his faith, even facing his own father on the battlefield when his father chose the side of oppression. This unimaginable test of loyalty to the truth over family ties demonstrated his absolute integrity. He was a commander who led with love, and his soldiers would follow him into the fire because they knew he would never betray them or the cause they fought for. During the plague of Amwas, while he was the governor of Syria, Abu Ubaidah refused to leave his people. Umar, the caliph, tried to call him back to safety, but Abu Ubaidah wrote back saying he could not abandon his soldiers in their time of need. He died among them, a martyr to his duty and his love for his fellow believers. He was a man who held the highest offices but owned nothing but his sword and a simple mat. His life was a masterclass in humility and the true meaning of trust. He showed the world that the most feared leaders are those who are the most servant-hearted toward their people. These 7 men, Umar, Khalid, Ali, Hamzah, Zubair, Sa'd, and Abu Ubaidah, changed the course of human history. They did not do it through magic or superhuman powers. They did it through a relentless commitment to a purpose higher than themselves. They were feared by the wicked because they could not be intimidated by death or seduced by wealth. They represented a new kind of humanity, one that balanced strength with mercy and leadership with service. Their stories are not just tales to be admired. They are blueprints for how we can live our lives today with courage and integrity in an often confusing world. The fear they instilled in their enemies was not the fear of a tyrant, but the fear that comes when falsehood meets the unyielding wall of truth. When we look at our own challenges today, we can find strength in their examples. Whether it is standing up for what is right in our workplaces, our communities, or within ourselves, the spirit of these companions lives on whenever someone chooses faith over fear. They taught us that when you fear nothing but Allah, the world has no power over you. Let their legacy be the fire that ignites our own hearts to move toward a life of meaning and purpose. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the lives of the most feared companions in history. Their stories are a reminder of the incredible heights the human spirit can reach. If this video moved you, please hit the like button and share it with someone who needs a reminder of what true courage looks like. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming stories of faith and history. Comment below, which of these 7 companions inspires you the most? We look forward to hearing your thoughts. Until next time, stay firm in your faith and keep seeking the truth.